squatters in his building, but it wasn't locked, so I don't know how he thinks we allowed that, but, anyways, that's his plan. Two, Greg met with Dan Stone and Greg sent an email to Dan Stone asking to come to the daycare site, review the current layout, report back. Dan did not have any serious issues overall with what's been done at the site. Add to the site plan a passenger loading zone area that is ADA compliant in the front. That way we know for sure that was one of Steve Darmapal's recommendations, and he will be bringing that to the Planning and Zoning Committee. He reached out to Steve Hindfort to draw up a sketch for the community center. It's the basic design, and he will be presenting that to council with the building turned 180 degrees so the village can have someone bid on the interior work that would need to be completed. I'm sure he'll be bringing that to finance then, since everyone will be there. Number 8, the bridge in the back is now completed. Again, special thank you to Grubbs and Craig Fenstermaker for securing the metal beams. He did send all the mowing and the ERU assessments over to the county auditor. Number 12, the pool's been drained and the water's been turned off. Successful season. Thank the lifeguards for their hard work. Special thank you to Randy Dunn, and pool manager, and Blake Whitmire, the assistant. Randy is absolutely the reason we got the number of lifeguards that we had. Extremely fortunate to have him work at our pool. And then 13, I don't know, Chief Blunt wants to explain a little more about this one. She had to enter and found apartments inside an R4 zone. Greg has discussed this with Rob. He's drafting a letter that they're going to send to them. We just want to make sure that we're following the law correctly. This is a serious situation, one that is happening across the area, and the language needs to be correct. So, if you have any other questions on Greg's, just contact him.
On item 2, I talked to him on the phone. He said something about a sidewalk having to get something done on the north side of the sidewalk. Do you know anything about that? If that's the case, that's the side we're talking about. He said something cutting the sidewalk.
I think, if I understood it correctly, after Steve Darmapal's about a loading and unloading zone, because I think there's like 10 kids doing the bus thing now already, that where they drop them off, you have to maybe cut a chunk of that out and make it ADA there, so that there'd be another ADA kids getting off the bus. And that, I don't know if must be sidewalk that's already been put in there, because there is a chunk of sidewalk.
He said remove, yeah.
That's not been completed yet.
This on the, we can review it later.
Okay. And Tammy? Oh, sorry. I missed you again. By the way, he's another year older, and so am I, so you know I can have a good excuse. He's still young.
When I'm done, I'll pass around. I just received this. I'm trying to keep tabs on the marijuana stuff, sales and tax update. This is from the Ohio Mayor's Alliance. Did you get this? I don't know if you're part of that or not.
I don't belong.
Either way, I'll just pass this around. It's something good to read and keep it in your mind. May pose some questions later. May help guide the village when we're coming down the road and what they want to do. So I'll pass those around afterwards. Tomorrow we filed a multitude of delinquent gas cases again. I think we've got 5 going to hearing tomorrow. 1 already paid up and settled, so that's good. We'll see what happens by tomorrow. And always service is always an issue and all that, but if we do get judgments, then we'll start pursuing those again through collection tactics and whatever we can do to get back on track with those as Haley gets them together and we file them. So that's been going good. And in fact, Greg and I are going to put a letter together on this residential R4 area that's being multi-family, and there are certain penalties for that and other ramifications, so it is a little confusing letter to put together, because we want to impose upon the owner that they're gonna have to shut her down probably, and be in violation. So, a little different tone than please put your trash away. Yeah, a little different. So we'll get that done and get that out and deal with whatever happens if they fail to do anything. I mean, they can't even, I think they're dead in the water regarding variances and changing things. The council probably never go for that. So I'll help write that letter and we'll get that taken care of. That's all I have.
And Haley will not be there tomorrow night,
He's supposed
but
to be.
Greg is
Greg.
planning on it, and if something happens, I know they might be back in.
No, I just need a warm body, we'll be all set.
I don't know if it's very warm anymore, but.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Now Tammy.
I do have a question, Rob, when it comes to those houses. So, the way they have it broke down, they're only using like one, it's almost like a, what do I wanna say?
Fire station house?
Kind of, well, it's just one bathroom, but they have all these rooms, and there's locks on the doors that you can actually latch from the outside. So anyone in the resident, if they get pissed off at each other, which they do, because that's why I was there, it was a domestic situation, can lock that, and you can't get in and they can't get out, or catch the place on fire, and we have all these people trapped.
Right.
Well, I know darn well, there's another one here in town that's the same way, and that's the old car wash. There's 8 cars down there now, and it's a little double wide, and the rest of them are staying in that car wash. So I have major concerns of safety,
Right.
because these are old places.
Well, that's why we need to get a letter out as soon as we can, just to show that the village is acknowledging that it's a problem. We don't wanna be passive about it, you know? When we say, oh, we knew about it, but we didn't do anything. We're gonna wanna take action pretty
The
quick.
locks on the outside?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yes, they have them like bedrooms almost, and because when you walk in, they've left just a little walk-in area.
It's odd.
And they have them all closed off, and then you can walk into the kitchen, they all share a kitchen, they all share a bathroom, and then even off the back porch area, they have made rooms on that back porch, and they're the same way, and they have wrote numbers with marker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, and then the ones upstairs, and the ones upstairs have to come downstairs to use the bathroom, and use the kitchen.
If you're locked in, you can't use anything.
Exactly. And I had no idea where the situation that what I was walking into, and I didn't know where it was at, because I walk in, and here's all these doors, but I was met somebody getting the shit kicked out of them, and I didn't know where she was at.
Hmm.
And they ended up tracing the cell phone, and they said the southwest corner. So I'm like, it's gotta be upstairs.
So who unlocks these locks from the inside then?
Don't know. No idea.
That's crazy.
No idea.
Wow.
No, you don't want that in your community.
No,
No.
absolutely not. Yeah. You got
So,
one, you're
anyway,
gonna-
numbers, 129 calls for service and 3 incidences from August 13th through September 9th.
I need to back up and do a motion for the gas and area adjustments too.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
Yeah, you just haven't seen the,
And they are in here.
yeah,
Yep.
pages 56 through
There.
65.
Right.
Because we'll forget and.
And I'll make a motion to approve the gas and area adjustments.
Mr. Grumwell,
Yes.
Mrs. Klein,
Yes.
Mrs. Benson,
Yes.
Mrs. Gill.
Yes.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Tammy? You have a copy of, actually, it's last month's sheriff report in the back on page 66. I think I just received the new one, and there were 8 incidents, and I think that was all that was on the new one. I do know that I've seen them at the park, sitting in front of the park quite a bit here lately again too, so we'll just keep an eye on it. We had lots of birthdays. Don, 9-2. Billy Seifert, 9-4. Rob was 9-8 yesterday, and Jack Myers is 9-28. So.
And when was yours?
And one was mine, so yeah, 5 of us in September, popular month. The Park District grant is done. The Shelter House number 1 ended up being $30,540 with the guys building it and the concrete and everything. Probably closer to 20. I did make a note on there. We had discussed, I can't remember, I think it was the night that Paulette and them were here. If the Park District says, since that's our number 1 choice, hey, we have $15,000 this year, I think with going to the Lions, the Rotary, the American Legion, the Community Partnership, and the VFW, I think we could make that happen if you divided that many ways. So we'll see what they say. The dugouts, I went with the dugouts that Mike shared the other night, and Haley and everyone, they were 32 feet. We currently have 25. They were all enclosed. $87,506.
For just one of those? Or is that a set?
That's a
too?
set.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's a set. 40-some thousand apiece. I do want to check with a local contractor here to see what the cost would be to really renovate one of them. We talked about those, the original poured concrete ones to increase the height. And then I know Haley had asked about the roof line going out to the actual fence. So, and then we could do the cement on the inside, some new benches, and maybe some cubbies. So I don't think it'll be $87,000, but. And then the info shelter, the little welcome one that has the map and everything, and I added 3 benches to that. That ended up being $15,475. So we'll see what they say, but it's ready to be. I will do a hard copy and drop it off, and then I usually scan one to them. The community partnership one, that is the one we talked about, the tables and chairs and the racks. We do have to have a match, and it can be up to $25,000. If I can, I'm going to throw in a refrigerator, microwave, and a small induction plate down the road. And the other one that I have to have done by next Monday is that community cleanup beautification. Probably doing it, looking at in the spring, maybe do a contest for the house that's cleaned up the most, give some prizes. I talked to Haley about if we could advertise and send out postcards to everyone. That's about $450. I don't have a price on dumpsters sitting in town for a week. And then probably paying Billy and Jared for a Saturday to be up here to help people load and unload. And then I'd get the kids at the school, the leader in me groups, the younger ones, and through like maybe the football and baseball players to help go around and pick things up. If there's any diversion people, we'll get them to do some of the heavy lifting as well. And that's really all I have. Anything else?
The big sale thing, that you want that to be your official fundraiser, right? One of your official fundraisers?
Yeah.
So we do need a motion to approve their deal in the fundraiser. So,
How much do you approve the fundraiser?
I second. I have a question, Jan.
Whose idea was it to do the pot, the large pot last year for Christmas when we decorated?
Well, I brought it up, and then Emmy,
ran with it.
Annie,
Okay.
she was asked to do it then at the partnership meeting.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Do it again.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
okay.
received that email, and they were asking if the council students would coordinate decorating of the large flower pots on Main Street, and they were also asking if the village is willing to sponsor the prizes again this year, like we did last year. So, a little bit more discussion on that.
I used, some of the Heart and Soul money last year for their prizes. I had to put in what we were gonna do and request for Heart and Soul this year. At the time, we were discussing, trying to maintain the big panther over here. Has some deterioration. It looks like it was never officially sealed. I had Mr. Schroeder come in, Tim. He does, I think it's Tim.
Schroeder Mason?
Masonry, yeah, and look at it, and when he threw water on it, it absorbed as opposed to running off like the ending. As you well know, the building recently sold, and in speaking with Kathy Bishop, she thought they were possibly looking to put apartments in upstairs, and 2 of the windows are part of the Panther mural. So we talked about it at the design review board, whether we can allow them to put windows in or consider that as part of a historical. So that money has been set aside for part of that renovation. The first estimate was about 10 grand to have it. That was a real artist, but I think there's some others around that it wouldn't cost that much. I know the community partnership has spoken about helping out some. I just had a gal ask me yesterday about it, so that's kind of in limbo right now. I don't know. Mark Glass, how many apartments and what they will look like.
We're at the Primrose.
Yeah, Primrose. Yeah. But it has been sold to Home Development LLC, and Mark is named on that.
So on the revitalization, I mean, we can try to preserve that, I know.
It appears that we can try to preserve it.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Just President Silvio had done it.
We've been talking with Melinda, and we would like to have both of her girls, if we can touch it up and get it to be a part of that, because they both have some artistic talent as well. There's supposedly a gentleman out of either Ottawa or Lipstick that also does murals. The girl we spoke with just finished the big one up at the Lincoln Valley at the hospital. She did a big interactive one, and then she was leaving to do one in Pittsburgh. And she had very high amount of money.
There's another one too, matter of fact, she did one out at the fairgrounds.
Mhm.
I was just gonna write that down.
Oh, I saw that
Yeah.
one.
She's actually a Macomb graduate.
The Kayla Collingwood, did she do that one?
Kylie, it was Kramer, but it's now,
The Collingwood girl is, I don't know if she's finished it inside the daycare. She had mentioned something, she was working on it at one time. I haven't been in there.
In pictures, it looks really good.
Pardon me?
I've seen the pictures that.
Okay.
Looks really good.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, highly.
So I think but we'll have to just kind of wait and see what they bring forward.
Okay.
And where we go from there. And I don't know if the school, being a Panther, if they would pick in anything, the athletic boosters or somebody, I don't know.
What was that motion completely? Catch it all.
It was just to approve the students' fall fundraiser.
Highly down now.
And then we were discussing the community partnerships, but I need an answer if the village is gonna put the bill for the snow globe contest winners.
Yeah, but we didn't do a motion on that.
I mean,
I heard fundraiser, but couldn't.
we got some Heart and Soul money there, we can use.
I think last year's I'm not gonna, it's $100 for first prize, but I don't think it was anything astronomical.
It ended up, I think it was 50.
And it's 50, 25, and 10, I thought.
but I
And
don't
then,
quote me on that.
no, it ended up, it was a total, I think, about little, around, I wanna say $200 because we ended up giving 20 or 25 to each group
To
that
participate.
didn't win anything but participated to cover some of their supplies.
It was.
Maybe it was 75, 50, and 25.
For everyone else.
And then 20 to the other
Other participants. Yeah, 'cause, I just heard positive things from the community on that, they thought that was a really neat idea. Yeah,
They were
and I
really-
just wanted to make sure we were doing it again, yeah, so, but, I'm glad to hear that. I'll make a motion for them to do the heart and soul, for the prizes for the.
Well, if we don't have Heart and Soul money, then my question to Melody is, could we cover the $200-ish, $250 from our account?
I don't know where we're at with your account right now. Can you do that? I mean,
Not the student account, the village account.
General.
Oh, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
It was, I don't, the snow globe was just the one. I guess we just called it decorate the large pot.
They were fun.
They were cute.
They were fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would love to get something in the fall, like get people to do, scarecrows or
Oh,
something.
yeah, yeah.
One town I went through, they had them on the post, and they were cute. They had mannequins dressed up and.
Yeah, get some thinking, at least if we put it out there,
Yeah.
at least they'll get some creative juices going.
So you wanna call that then? No. You made the.
I made a motion.
Okay, okay.
Who did the first?
Beth.
Beth. Sarah.
I'm sorry, Mel.
Yeah, I'm just. Hey, Mr. Brumbaugh.
Yes.
Mrs. Gill?
Yeah.
Mrs.